A lot of buzz has been surrounding construction on Saudi Arabia's The Line project. Much negativity has been associated with it as it's been widely considered too big to build and has morphed into something that looks like a highlight reel from The Matrix. With the recent construction on the line, you might be surprised to know that it may not turn out to be the largest megaproject ever in history. This could see the project becoming a $1 trillion mistake that is abandoned. Welcome to our channel, RIchtastic. In today's video, we're going to dig into why this was built and what will happen next when it comes to, at last, to its completion. Neom and the Line. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman revealed his plan to build a 250-kilometer desert city called The Line on July 17, 2022, and we've already talked about it in our first video. It consists of two skyscrapers of reflective glass which span 500 meters and connect themselves to one World Trade Center to create a new way of living. On our first video, we discussed The Line, including the idea of two reflective glass skyscrapers positioned next to each other. We have extensive information regarding our industry stakeholder discussion on and around The Line, along with the secondary sources such as Forbes articles and white papers. The Line is hoping to create a zero-carbon city. The landscaping and architecture of the facade would use zero-carbon energy sources, and any water used would be done through a carbon-free desalination plant. And all the buildings will include renewable, sustainable materials. The construction of this project has caused plenty of doubt and shock among those who have been watching it on YouTube. Perhaps people are hesitant. This proposal caused shock, awe, and suspicion because there were only few information available on this project. After Mohammed bin Salman's presentation, things took a surprising turn around 3 months later. Construction on the line actually begins. On October 19, 2022, drone footage taken of a construction site was released to the world. The video reveals that excavators are digging ditches inland, which will provide the foundation of Neom's line. They're also nearly at the mountains in the background, and it's hard to say how far they've gone so far. On the official map on Neom's website, this phase of construction starts at this bay at sea level and comes into these mountains flowing down towards subcontinent city. As a result of the terrain and the sea in the background, it is likely the footage was shot here. Therefore, excavations could already be 10 to 20 kilometers long. Furthermore, more infrastructure is being built around the entire project. A number of developments can be seen on Google Maps. The site consists of offices and camps, a neom community with a football field and swimming pools, and a neom experience center. Due to the fact that these images aren't current, more may be available by now. There is nothing comparable to this anywhere in the world. Therefore, we can only speculate how it can turn out. But we can say that 3 outcomes are possible. What will happen to the line? Scenario 1. Firstly, it is possible that construction of the line will cease in a few months or even years without anyone moving in. In the same way as the Jeddah Tower and Dubai Creek Tower, it may turn into a construction project that remains unclear. Both projects were accompanied by stunning renderings and great promises. Construction began, and it appeared that the buildings would actually be completed. But everything came to a halt, and there has been no progress since then. In spite of the fact that the line is backed by a whole country and has received massive attention from around the world, it seems unlikely to achieve this outcome. If the project is completed, it could be a great opportunity for Saudi Arabia to attract more tourists and investors. In addition, the line project could be a catalyst for further development. As more people start to use this part of the country, it could lead to a wider cultural acceptance and even inspire other projects that would have an equally positive effect on society. For example, if there is success in creating an infrastructure like the line that connects different parts of Saudi Arabia, then it might encourage businesses to open up and bring new economic opportunities with them. What will happen to the line? Scenario 2. As a second scenario, Saudi Arabia could heavily invest in their current plans and succeed in achieving that what it was promised in the trailers over the next few decades. As a matter of fact, certain features such as having no cars, generating 100% renewable energy, and implementing vertical living could be implemented. Using these methods, it is estimated that the line could reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 198 million tons per year, the same amount of CO2 generated annually by 10 million cars. Ultimately, this would help make Saudi Arabia one of the most sustainable countries in the world. However, when it comes to its sheer size, the project just seems insurmountable. You won't be able to guess the length of the tallest skyscraper on Earth planned for construction in Saudi Arabia from the name alone. When finished, it will be around 170 kilometers long and have a similar height as one World Trade Center. And since it contains 2 strings, it could really mean building over 4,000 of these multi-tier miracles. To put that into perspective, if we estimated that the project would be completed in 8 years, that would equal a whopping 32,000 years. It illustrates the scale of the project quite well, as Saudi Arabia can begin working on multiple parts at once, so they can build them much faster. To give you another idea, the construction of the Three Gorges Dam in China took 40,000 workers 17 years to complete. It's much smaller than the line, however, with a height of just 180 meters and a length of 2.3 kilometers. What will happen to the line scenario 3? In light of the fact that construction has already begun, a compromise may be reached. We asked if this could be humanity's greatest megaproject or a trillion-dollar construction misstep. But perhaps there is another option. Many of you have already commented in our previous video that Saudi Arabia could build it, but not the absurd lengths they intended. They could build a whole megaproject piece by piece since the line is built in 5-minute walk segments. The height of the line project can be adjusted to make the project more realistic. And if the demand is higher than anticipated, there are multiple avenues from them to go. They could simply extend the length when needed. With half of the height, the whole concept of vertical living remains intact, and all features could still be implemented. Even if it's built at a smaller scale, it could be an entirely different way of living than cars have traditionally allowed in cities around the world. This would ensure the project goes through and is completed, but at a much more reasonable cost. It could even be adaptable for the future in case Saudi Arabia wants to extend it further later on. We already know that engineering-wise this can be done. Europe has been building their own 5-minute segments of transportation networks since long before they had modern technology like magnetic levitation trains or high-speed models. Instead of risking an excessive financial burden and a mega construction mistake with the line, Saudi Arabia might achieve something extraordinary by starting off smaller than planned, but all still producing an incredible expansion in public transport that people could use as soon as it's built. But these proposals are very limited in their impact. They're focused on raising awareness and reducing car usage, rather than addressing the broader issue of mitigating the all too often chaotic squeeze to find parking spaces in urban settings. With the line, they can get to start again from scratch. Furthermore, if these plans can be met with public transportation, a proposed underground railway system is available for longer trips through the line. It is possible that by 2030, the first residents will live in a high-tech society on a much smaller scale. But which of these outcomes is likely? What are experts saying about this crazy project? Given the extremely tight deadline, most experts do not believe this project is feasible. As NEOM's chief urban planning officer, Anthony Bives told CNBC, "I want to be clear about this. NEOM is a complex, bold, and ambitious project that is not an easy task to complete. It is exciting to see the vision come to life. We are making strong progress." While some experts outside the project are raising concerns, many others are not involved. According to Marshall Brown, a Princeton University architecture professor, there will be so many physical and environmental phenomena that would have to be addressed in order to achieve the incredibly minimal, singular character of the renderings. Is this a successful project now that construction has begun? What do you think? Do let us know in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more updates.